Hello and welcome! It is Gauntlet of Greatness time once again. I'm Randy Buehler. Sorry for the delay this week. Shadow Detella is now off the disabled list, feeling maybe not 100%, but better.
Good enough. Good enough for government work. Let's make this happen.
Good enough for Magic is, yeah.
Good enough for Magic.
I'd be feeling pretty bad to not play Magic.
That is true. Like I said, I played League while I was taking a day off of work. I just played nonstop leagues. So
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how you recuperate, right?
Exactly.
Good thing that they're back. All right, we are in Group B. So this is our second trip through the group stage. Today on the Gauntlet, we are going to see Jund versus Necro in an elimination match. We are going to see Affinity versus Dragonstorm for a spot in the top 8. Next time through, the two 1-1 decks will play for another spot in the top 8. And yeah, the Necro deck really did lose the first week. One of the pre-tournament favorites, and obviously I'm a fan, but it's got some work to do if it's going to make the playoffs for the third consecutive historical standard season. Matchup we're going to start with, though, Dragonstorm versus Affinity, two of the staples of the kind of mid-2000s standard era. Here's the Affinity list we're playing. It is a Cranial Plating Affinity list, not a Skull Clamp list. Those cards are in back-to-back sets, but Skull Clamp got banned so quickly that they did not actually overlap in terms of legality and standard. The rest of that, you get all the actual Affinity cards, right? Mirror Enforcer, Frogmite, Thawed Cast. This is where the deck started. It's got all the artifact lands, make those super good, and it's got Disciple of the Vault as the just, crazy good combo with Arcbound Ravager in terms of just dealing direct damage and burning somebody out. This version even plays ATOGs, just so you get a little more of that going on. The Dragonstorm side of things, this is a combo deck. This is build up a hand with enough, Dark Ritual effects, Rite of Flame, Seething Song, what have you. You've got a little bit of permission to buy time. You've got Lotus Blooms that can tick down. Usually turn 4 is the turn you go with it. You go for it because that's when the Lotus Bloom finishes unsuspending. And then Dragonstorm. 9 mana, 3 spells plus the Dragonstorm. That's lethal. That gets 4 copies of Bogardan Hellkite, or you can throw in, hasty 6/6 flyers if you happen to have drawn one of your Hellkites. Sometimes just summoning a Bogardan Hellkite can be good, but that's basically the idea here. I don't know, Shadow, what do you think? Is this Dragonstorm deck actually fast enough to compete with Affinity, or how do you think this plays out?
Right, my thought is that it can be. But I think it will be inconsistently able to beat Affinity, which means best 2 out of 3, it's got a chance. If we're playing best to 10, I think it's much less of a chance.
All right.
So I think it's got some fight in it, though.
Well, I'm going to play the Affinity side of things. I've got a match set up. Open play, getting serious. Yep, 60-minute clock, so we don't have to worry about the clock. Come fight
you know
me.
what this Dragonstorm deck needs? It needs Brainstorm. That would make me so happy. Put the stupid dragons back in the deck. All right, I will see you on the other side, sir.
All right. Good luck. Talk to you in a minute.
Good luck.
Here we go. Affinity has won the die roll, and what does this hand do? This hand seems fine. It's all artifacts and cranial plating and some 1-drops. Definitely a keeper. Do I get turn 2 Frogmite? I'm not sure I do. No, I think I do. Yeah. We get turn 1 Worker. Turn 2, I can play Plating plus Frogmite. Can't quite equip Plating, but not a lot of acceleration in this version of the deck. It's not, Mox Opals and whatnot. Well, the acceleration is all the artifacts plus the Affinity spells. So, Lotus Bloom, a pair of Lotus Blooms ticking down. That's a clock. Nothing super exciting here. Plating will be good next turn. I think we're just racing. Play may matter. The fact that I get the first turn 4 feels like it could be relevant. Certainly not going to kill him in 3 turns. have no blue mana. That's annoying. I will play the artifacts that I can play. He's got Remand and Gigadrowls. Guess Gigadrowls means put this on the worker. Having black so that I can move the plating at instant speed may actually matter versus Gigadrowls. Would have been nice if I had blue mana, but what are you gonna do? So I win this race, right? He has to like Gigadrowls me. Yeah, because I've got 8, 9, 10. I've got 11, plus I'm going to play another artifact. I've got 12 for next turn. He goes tap, 7, 8, 9. I think I can deal 9 even if he does double Gigadrowls. Whoa, turn 3. What has he got? I mean, I'm certainly presenting lethal. If he doesn't have a Gigadrowls, he has to do whatever he can. Does not have time to wait for his Lotus Blooms. Is he going to turn 3 me with 2 Lotus Blooms? Still not down? Is this actually a thing? He's at 8 mana. He needs 1 more mana. It's 9 mana for Dragonstorm. So if he's got a Ritual and a Storm... Oh, he's going to summon 1 dragon. Which, let's see. How much toughness... Ah! I'm like, whoa! Okay. He had the Dragonstorm, and he was 1 mana short. He could get to 8 mana, but yeah, I knew... Yeah, the Lotus Blooms come down, he wins. If he's got 1 Hellkite, though, he deals 5 damage. Only have 4 toughness worth of creatures in play. Hellkite... 1 Hellkite might have actually been enough there. Interesting. Wow, that was a game. Good thing we won the die roll. So, what happens with sideboarding? I just have to race, right? I mean, I think Shrapnel Blast comes in. I don't know what comes out is the thing. Maybe Vanilla Atog? Electrostatic Bolt doesn't do anything. Pyroclasm, Retriever. Hover Guard doesn't feel right. I don't think Glimmer Void's important. Yeah, I think Shrapnel Blast seems like a better race card than some of the stuff I've got. Maybe like Mirror Enforcer is a little on the slow side. Feels plausible. Does he have any... I wonder if he's got any sideboard cards I need to worry about. He's got Pyroclasms. He's got Ignorant Bliss to dodge discard. He's got Repeals. Yeah, lands for the control matchup. So, I mean, Pyroclasm is, I guess, the card that I have to be aware of. Which maybe makes Mirror Enforcer a little better. I'm not going to cut Frogmite, though. Maybe I cut an Atog? Guy races pretty well, though. Oh, I think this Mirror Retriever Dork. There we go. That's the play. I don't really have time to recurse things with Mirror Retriever in this matchup, I don't think. I mean, solid draw. No 1-drop, which is less than ideal, but I've got a Plating and a Ravager. They're not great friends, but, I mean, whatever. The deck wants to draw 1 card or the other to really take advantage of the fact that it's mostly artifacts. He's on a mulligan. Ravager also gives me the Disciple draws, which are probably the fastest draws I can have. Sure, sleight of hand. White bordered sleight of hand. I guess. Might be that the only black bordered sleights online are foils. Alright, no Lotus Blooms. Apparently. Well, it's a 1-drop. Hilariously, I can't play it on turn 1 because my only black mana is a Glimmer Void, which obviously will not have an artifact in play if I use it to play Disciple of the Vault. That's all very hilarious. But we've got Ravager Disciple. So that seems good. Now he's got a Lotus Plume. Slightly late to the party. Chromatic Sphere. Oh, I really just want to play a Ravager here, right? Yeah, I mean, I wish I'd had a 1-drop artifact then, because then I'd be playing Frogmite. Well, what are you gonna do? All right, is this... I mean, I can go Cranial Plating Equip. I'm a little nervous, though, about all that untapped mana. I mean, he might have his Pyroclasm, he might have his Repeals. I mean, alternately, I can go, what? Sphere, Frogmite, Disciple? Something like that? So if I go black, then I can play the Sphere. I can run mana through the Sphere for another Sphere, and I can play a Frogmite. I think that's my play. Do I play another Frogmite? I think I do. Like, Pyroclasm is the card I'm afraid of, but Ravager can get big. Yeah, this basically forces him to have Pyroclasm. It's annoying for me if he's got Pyroclasm here. I don't know about the second Frog. Maybe that Frogmite was a little too all in. Although, what? I mean, if he plays Pyroclasm and I make a big Ravager, that actually seems okay. Held back the Enforcer. Would have been better if this had been a Mirror Enforcer, but I don't have that many artifacts. I have 5. Well, doesn't look like he has the Pyroclasm. So, I assume this is plating. I can't move it. He's just dead? There's not any life gain, right? I think he's just dead. I think I'd rather have a card. Oh, I should have got blue mana. I'd rather have a card than a counter. Yeah, he's just dead. Affinity is the faster deck. I'm just a lot faster than you, huh?
Yeah, 1 turn each time.
1 turn each time? Sure.
Yep. Like if I had my Lotus Plume in my opening hand, which I went and tried to mulligan to get,
Yep.
like then it's probably good enough. But like my opening hand had 2 dragons and no Dragonstorm, so like that one's going to get shunted back anyway. So each time you were dead next turn, but you're just going to be able to beat me. I've got cards that can stop you without really slowing me down, but I drew none of them. But really, there's only 1 extra card slot in my hand, and that's with the dragon sitting. Everything else I need in order to go off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
it's a little vulnerable to Pyroclasm, that draw, but...
Yeah, Pyroclasm would have been great. Like, you would have had a giant Ravager, but your Disciple of the Vault would have been dead, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. It probably wouldn't have been good enough.
Yeah, I mean, you take like 5, and I make a big Ravager. I don't know. I mean, it would have helped. It might have bought you that turn.
Yep, I did side in the card that counters activate abilities and doesn't let you use them again. Yeah. So, like, that would have worked too. Like, you play Cranial Plate and I do that when you try to put it on. That buys me the time I need.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but you have to stitch it all together, and you have to.
Absolutely. I don't have a lot of.
You have to do something to buy yourself a turn, because it feels like my just vanilla Goldfish. I'm going to kill you on my turn 4.
Yep.
And this time, so this game you were on the play, and you needed a turn 5 because the Lotus Bloom. You didn't have Lotus Bloom till turn 2.
Correct.
And in the first game, you had the turn 4 kill, but you didn't get turn 4 because I won the flip.
Correct. That's exactly it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, this Affinity deck's great. I think this is certainly a worthy top 8 competitor. It is now in the top 8. We'll be joined by, we'll see, it'll be Dragonstorm playing the win-in against the winner of our next matchup, either the Necro deck or the Jund deck.